Get ready, because Married at First Sight UK is coming back bigger and bolder than ever before. Season 10 is officially starting this Sunday, September 21st at 9 p.m. on E4. And, from everything we've heard, this is going to be the most dramatic and diverse season yet. The experts Paul C. Brunson, Mel Schilling and Charlene Douglas are back with their biggest promises ever, claiming this will be the most memorable series in the show's history. But what exactly can viewers expect from this new season? We've got all the details about the cast, the format changes, and the drama that's already brewing before the first episode even airs. The biggest change this year is how often we'll be seeing these couples. Instead of the usual Monday night slot, the show is starting on Sundays and will air several nights per week, which means we're getting way more content than previous seasons. This is huge because it means we'll see the relationships develop in real time rather than waiting a whole week between episodes. You'll be able to catch up on any episodes you missed through Channel 4's streaming service, so there's no excuse to fall behind on the drama. The experts are clearly confident they have enough explosive content to fill multiple episodes per week, which should tell you everything you need to know about what's coming. For the first time ever, MAFS UK is showing us the hen and stag do's, which is a massive game changer. These pre-wedding parties have always happened behind the scenes, but now we'll get to see the brides and grooms bonding with their friends and family before they meet their partners. This could be where we see the first signs of drama, especially if family members express doubts about the whole experiment. We might also get to see the contestants' true personalities come out when they're with their closest friends, which could be very different from how they present themselves on their wedding day. The fact that they're filming these parties suggests the producers know they'll be full of juicy moments that viewers will want to see. Another groundbreaking change is the inclusion of 2 same-sex weddings this season. This is the first time MAFS UK has featured multiple LGBTQ+ couples, which is a huge step forward for representation on the show. Same-sex couples might face different challenges than straight couples, both in terms of societal acceptance and family reactions. This could add a whole new layer of complexity to the dinner parties and commitment ceremonies, especially if other contestants have strong opinions about same-sex relationships. The experts will also need to adapt their matching process and advice to work with couples who might have different relationship dynamics than what they're used to dealing with. The cast this year is absolutely wild in terms of diversity and life experience. We've got 18 participants ranging in age from 29 all the way up to 60, which is the biggest age range the show has ever had. Paul, the 60-year-old retired man from Edinburgh, is going to be particularly interesting to watch because he's been divorced since 2011 and is looking for love later in life. On the other end, we have several people in their late 20s and early 30s who are at completely different life stages. This age gap could create some serious tension, especially during group activities where different generations might clash over values or lifestyle choices. The cast also includes several parents, which always adds extra drama to the mix. Ashley is a father of 1, Bailey has a young daughter, Stephen has 2 children, and Maeve is a mum to a young son. These contestants will have to consider not just their own feelings, but how their new marriages might affect their kids. We've seen in previous seasons how children can become a major source of conflict, especially if the new partner doesn't get along with the kids, or if ex-partners get involved. Anita is even a grandmother at 54, which brings a whole different perspective to the experiment. Career-wise, this cast is all over the place, which should make for interesting conversations. We've got healthcare workers like Grace, who works in mental health services, and Nielima, who's a cosmetic dentist. There are business owners like Leah and Rebecca, who runs an aesthetics clinic. We also have creative types like Julia Ruth, the dancer, and Devani, the musician and actor. Stephen works in investment banking while Joe is a personal trainer. These different career paths mean different income levels, work schedules, and life priorities, which could cause major compatibility issues. The geographical spread is also worth noting because long-distance relationships have always been a challenge on MAFS. We've got people from all over the UK, from Aberdeen in Scotland down to Bridgend in Wales. Sarah is coming from Aberdeen, which is pretty far from most of the other contestants. If she gets matched with someone from the south of England, that's going to be a serious obstacle to making the relationship work after the show ends. The experts will need to consider whether they're willing to relocate or if they expect their partners to move for them. What makes this season particularly interesting is the mix of relationship experience among the cast. Key has been previously married, so he knows what it's like to make that level of commitment. Paul has been divorced for over a decade, so he's had time to figure out what went wrong in his first marriage. But then you have people who might be getting married for the first time, which brings completely different expectations and fears to the table. This mix of experience levels could lead to some really deep conversations about what marriage actually means to different people. The emotional backstories this season seem particularly heavy, with the show promising to explore themes of bereavement, divorce, adoption, and single parenting. These aren't light topics, and they could lead to some really intense moments during the commitment ceremonies. When people are dealing with grief or trauma from their past, it can affect how they approach new relationships. The experts will need to be extra careful about how they handle these sensitive situations, especially when the cameras are rolling. Based on what we know about previous seasons, the dinner parties are going to be absolutely chaotic. With such a diverse group of people from different backgrounds, ages, and life experiences, there's bound to be conflict. The same-sex couples might face judgment from more traditional contestants, while the older participants might clash with younger ones over lifestyle choices. The parents in the group might bond over shared experiences, but they could also disagree about parenting styles or priorities. The commitment ceremonies are where the real drama usually happens, and with this cast, we're expecting some explosive moments. When you have people like Paul, who's been divorced for years, standing next to someone like Julia Ruth, who's a 29-year-old dancer, their perspectives on marriage and commitment are going to be completely different. The experts will have their work cut out for them trying to give advice that works for such a varied group. Social media is already buzzing about this season, with cast members building their followings before the show even starts. This suggests that some of them are already thinking about life after MAFS, which could affect how genuine they are during the experiment. When contestants are more focused on becoming influencers than finding love, it usually leads to drama and accusations of being there for the wrong reasons. The season is expected to run for several weeks with near-daily episodes, which means we're going to get an unprecedented look into these relationships. Previous seasons have felt rushed because we only saw the couples once or twice a week, but this format should give us a much deeper understanding of how these marriages develop. It also means more opportunities for drama, conflict, and hopefully some genuine connections. With all these elements combined, Season 10 is shaping up to be the most ambitious and explosive season of MAFS UK ever. The experts have promised it will be memorable, and based on everything we know about the cast and format changes, they're right. Whether you're here for love stories or drama, this season looks like it's going to deliver completely.